Hello everyone. Hi there. It's Hitesh. Hi. So today topic we'll start with the installation of Python. Okay, and we will see what are the different IDEs we have in available for the Python. You already aware about it, right? IDE is kind of an integrated development environment where it understands your code better, much better than the text editor actually, right? You normally use the notepad for writing anything, but IDE is just like an editor only for writing the code, but it is better than the code, which provides specifically designed for the software development, which consists of several other tools and features which is not given in the notepad. And this particular usually provides like features such as building the automation code, then testing and debugging of your code. Actually significantly it speed up of your code, and the downside is that it is little bit complicated to use, but when you get familiarized with something, definitely it is very easy. So we're gonna see what are the Python IDs we have in available. There are many Python IDs has been available, guys, right? Some of the you have already familiar like IDE, then PyCharm, then Visual Studio, right? You have already heard about this all the IDs. So I will walk through that, what are the different IDs we have and what is the specific feature for that all the particular ID which you are using. We'll start with a very basic one which is called as an IDE. Right, when you install the Python, by default IDE is also installed by it. Okay, this makes it very easy to get started in Python, and its major features are like it include the Python shell window, interactive interpreter, then auto completion, then syntax highlighting, then smart indentation, then basic integrated debugger. So many other features we have available for the IDE, and it is a very decent IDE if you say, and very easy to use, and all normal people and normal coder also you can use this particular IDE in a very effective way. If we say the next, which is a very important IDE, is called as an PyCharm. Okay, PyCharm is an IDE for the professional developers, okay, which is created by the JetBrains organization, a company known for creating the great software development tools. And it is a cross-platform integrated development environment which is specifically designed for Python only, and it's mostly widely used in both paid version as well as in free open source version also. And it saves very ample amount of time by taking the care of routine tasks and many other things. If you see, there are basically two versions of PyCharm. One is called as a community version and one is called as a professional version. Community version is a free and open source version which is a lightweight and good for the Python and scientific development, but professional version is a paid one which having the full feature with a support of web development, as well as it provide all the major features like code completion and the code inspection, error highlighting, fixes, debugging, version control system also is given, and code refactoring. This all features come with the professional ones. The only major actually if you say disadvantage of the PyCharm, if I'll talk about that, I heard that PyCharm is little bit a resource intensive. If you have a computer with a small amount of RAM, like around up to 4 GB, then it is a little bit your computer may get lag. Okay, this is the only disadvantage, but if you have a high GB RAM, definitely this particular IDE will be the best choice. Next we have called as a Visual Studio Code. You're already aware about this particular, right? Visual Studio Code, which is a very famous and popular and free and open source IDE which is created by the Microsoft, and it can be used for Python development also, and this IDE also used for many other languages development like C, C++, C#, and all the other languages development. Okay, we also can use for the Python development. You can add many extensions to create a Python development environment as per your need. It provides features such as intelligent code completion, then linting for the potential errors, then debugging, unit testing, and so on. Many features have been available for this Visual Studio Code, and it is a very lightweighted IDE, okay, and packed with a very powerful features. That is why the reason why it becoming very popular among the Python developers. Next, which is a very powerful and integrated IDE which is called as a Spyder. You might be heard about this particular IDE, right? It is used for the scientific development mostly. If you see, the easiest way to get use this particular IDE, that you have to install Anaconda if you want to use this particular Spyder, then you have to install the Anaconda distribution. Okay, and if you don't know what is the Anaconda, Anaconda is a very popular distribution. I'm going to talk about later, just within 2 minutes now. And it has some great features also, like auto completion. Again, IPython shell has been available. Then you're going to see the kernel and all the versions here only. Then you have other file refactoring options. Compared to the PyCharm, it is very powerful. Okay, and it doesn't lack any of the features compared to the Python, compared to the PyCharm, compared to the IDEs, compared to the Visual Studio Code. It's proper syntax highlighting and auto code completion, and integrating that strongly with the IPython console gives an immense of popularity all over the world for this IDE Spyder. Next up, we have one IDE which is called as an online IDE, that is called as a Google Colab. You might be heard about this particular IDE, right? Okay, Collabority, or we say in abbreviation called as a Colab for short. It is a product from the Google research team, where it allows anybody to write and execute the arbitrary Python code through the browser, and specifically well suited to machine learning, data analysis, and all other educations if you wanted to do. More technically, if you see, Colab is a hosted Jupyter notebook, okay, which provides and requires no setup to use, and no other extra resources has been consumed. It is a web framework versions, okay, and it's providing access free of charge to computing the resources, including the GPUs, if you see. And one of the highlightings of the Google Colab is that the provision of hardware accelerators, such as like GPUs, which is graphical processing units, okay, which can be used to train the deep learning models at a much faster speed than other CPU models. Okay, mostly machine learning and deep learning neural networks, this all the particular models has been trained here in this Google Colab. Next we have called as an Anaconda. Anaconda is kind of an we also call as a navigator, Anaconda navigator, or Anaconda IDE also. Okay, it's a desktop graphical user interface if you see, and included in Anaconda distribution, which allows you to launch the many type of application. Okay, as you see in the picture, it allows you to launch the data spell, it allows you to launch the Spyder also in Jupyter lab also, and you can say IBM Watson Studio Cloud also have been available inside this Anaconda navigator, and it manages the Conda packages, environment, and channels without any kind of an CLI, that is command line interface commands. And navigator can search for packages on mostly in anaconda.org.com, which is a site given by the Anaconda, and it bundles a whole bunch of Python packages which is commonly used by the people using the Python for scientific computing, data science, and provide a single download and can install the Python script and install all the packages in this Anaconda navigator. At last, which is a very famous, you already aware about it, and most of you one doing the work, called as a Jupyter notebook, which is inside the Anaconda Python only, Anaconda navigator. But this Jupyter notebook is an app which is a client server application that allows the editing and running notebook documents through the web browser. And this Jupyter notebook app can be executed on a local desktop only without requiring any kind of an internet connection or any internet access, and it can be installed on a remote server also, which is accessed through the internet. If you see this, in addition to displaying, editing, and running the notebook, this Jupyter notebook also app has in dashboards, okay, called as a notebook dashboard, which is a kind of control panel system, which showing the local files and allowing to open the notebooks and documents, or shutting down their kernels, which works on the kernel basis. If you see kernel is kind of, you can say, computational engine which execute the code contained in the notebook document. Now we will see how we can install our Python. Okay, let's see how we can install our Python. Okay, you have to navigate through the browser, take any browser you want, and right there download Python. Okay, download Python, just write this much only, download Python. Okay, the moment you write download Python, you can see this first link, go to first link, and you can see the latest version, download Python 3.11.2. just click on this. Okay, the moment you will click on this, it is around 24.4 MB. You can see it gets installed here. Click on this, double click on this particular file, and install the necessary file. You can see install now. You can see install now. click on this install now. It will ask the permission, give the permission yes, and it will just download your necessary setup. Okay, the moment you will download this particular Python IDE, I have already downloaded this, so I'm not going to download it. I'm cancelling this particular thing. Okay, the moment you will download this, you have to just search on your Windows search bar, call as an IDLE. You can say IDLE. Can you see IDLE? Or if you search Python, like in this Python, you can see this particular Python. Just open this. This type of command terminal you can see in Python when you open the Python system. Can you see this one? See here, if you write, if you wanted to check, then you can check, like if you wanted to run the hello world, just run print hello world and you can check it. You can see it's working, right? And now just we have discussed how the IDLE looks like. Now I'll show you IDLE also. On a Windows search bar, type IDLE, search here and open it. You can see IDLE Python 3.10 64-bit. You can open it if you want. Okay, and there are all other IDEs which have been available right now. Now all the other IDEs like Jupyter, call as Spyder, Anaconda, okay, that all IDEs I'm going to show you how you can open and how you can run that particular interface. Now you can see now our IDE has been get open. Next we have a call as Jupyter. Can you see this Jupyter notebook? Okay, Jupyter notebook Anaconda 3. Open this. See our IDE has been get open. Can you see? If you wanted to run, you can do the Ctrl+N and you can write the command and you can run it. You can see. Okay, and you have to save this particular program somewhere else with a name as anything you can give and save it and run this. You can see the output here, hello world in IDLE, right? Next we have a Jupyter. Okay, when the moment you launch the Jupyter here, okay, that particular version will going to install on your it will get open on your web browser. As we know, this is the web version. Okay, it will get open like this type of interface you're going to see when you open the Jupyter notebook. It will take a little bit of your time depending upon what is the configuration of your computer. Okay, so it will take around 30 seconds to 1 minute to open this IDE. For last, we can open with the Spyder if you want. Can you see this Spyder? The moment you will just download the Anaconda. Okay, let me show you how you can download the Anaconda first. Now go to Google and type Anaconda IDE. Okay, type Anaconda IDE, guys. Okay, don't type only Anaconda, otherwise you can see this snake type of things, right? Now type Anaconda, go to first link, Anaconda distribution, and you can download it from here. Okay, click on download. It will going to start a download around 621 MB. I have already downloaded this, so I'm going to cancel it. Can you see? And download this Anaconda package. Okay, the moment you download the Anaconda package, your Jupyter and your Spyder by default will going to get installed. Okay, so you can see my Jupyter has been get open here in web browser. So you have to just click on this new, go to Python 3 kernel, and your particular cell, your particular interface where you're going to write a code has been get open here. Now just print hello world and you can run it simply. Can you see hello world, right? You have seen this in Python. You can also see in Spyder. Okay, this is a Spyder which I am opening here. So we will see how the hello world also available in Spyder. Now this is our particular Jupyter notebook which is provided in a graphical user interface, right? We haven't seen that how we can run our Python through the IDLE, how we can run our Python through the command control. If you wanted to see what is the version of your Python, you can directly open your CMD, that is a command prompt, and at a command prompt you have to just type that Python -- version, Python -- version. So you can see that particular command prompt you have to open, which is a real Python Okay, and then you have to type -n version. Now this particular Jupyter, I can see this is a very popular one. Now our Spyder also get open. This is the interface of Spyder. Okay, now if you wanted to write the code, like see, okay, you can write the code here, and simply I'll show you just writing the print hello world. Can you see the syntax highlighting? Now run this. Okay, your kernel is getting started here. Now run this from here. Can you see hello world here? Right. So we have seen in today's session that what are the different IDs we have been available, and how we can work with the different IDs, and what are the features have been provided by the each IDE. Right. So for today, thank you so much everyone. Thank you so much.